Welcome, everyone. It's Saturday. It's the day before Easter. I decided to come on and do a live stream to do a little bit of breath work, a little bit of healing work, and that is the title of today's live stream is The Healing Breath with Don Antonio. So, if you have any ailments or issues, whether they be physical, mental, emotional, now's a good time to sit down, find a place to relax, and spend a little bit of time with me. And what I'll do is, with myself and those who come in energetically, we can help each other and we can bring some healing into our lives. I know I need a lot of healing. I'm about 1 week post surgery. I had another aortic surgery for my lower aorta. Back in November, my upper aorta dissected. I actually dissected from the root of my aorta down all the way into my femoral arteries, which is really intense. And most people only have like a 1% chance of survival. But it's no doubt to me that due to my faith and my ability to heal, that I've been able to live. And in a short period of time, I'm sure I'll be thriving. I'm already up, walking around, moving around, doing a lot better than what the average recovery time is. If anything, I have to be careful to make sure I don't hurt myself. But today is all about healing. I'm going to teach you a little bit about using your breath for healing, using your faith for healing. Using those two things in conjunction are very, very powerful. As always, the floor is open for anyone that has any comments or wants to ask a question or share something. This is all about community. This is a forum of community, and I always invite everyone to let themselves shine, even if it's just you just drop on to let us know where you're watching from. I'm going to hit a couple comments before we get started to let everyone file in. Good afternoon, Anthony. Hi, Brianna. Long time no see. We had a group event last night. Every other Saturday, we have something that we call Light Club. And what it is it's a Zoom gathering where people come together, and I typically lead us in a little bit of prayer, some breath work, some meditation. It's similar but different, and then we usually have some sort of discussion afterwards or share about things. So it's very community based. It's wonderful for people who are in spiritual communities to come in and be together. It's wonderful. Tom Thompson, good to see you, brother. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to share to Mom. Okay, please do. Welcome. I'm glad we're all here. And now as we get started, one of my favorite things to do is pray. And I've been doing a lot of that, more than ever. I am a priest. I am also a reverend, technically. I'm an ordained minister in my state. And what I always try to tell people is prayer is a lot more powerful than most people realize. They think it's just something you do, some words that you say. And it's just a lot more than that. It's about conveying energy. It's about sharing frequency and vibration with each other. So I'm going to open up with a little sacred prayer here for all of us. But before we begin, what I'm going to want you to do is just take in a slow, deep breath. I want you to breathe in through your nose and fill up your belly and your chest. Taste the air inside your body and let go. Let it all go. Just relax for a second. And we pray. Heavenly Father, great Spirit of life, breath of all that is, we welcome your presence here now. We gather in this sacred space within the temple of our own being to remember the breath that carries us, nourishes us, heals us. May every inhale draw in light and every exhale release what no longer serves. May the sacred breath move through us, cleansing the mind, strengthening the body, and illuminating the heart. We call forth the highest frequencies of healing, and we open ourselves to the miracles woven into each breath. Thank you for the gift of life, the blessing of presence, and the power of renewal that awakens within us now. May this gathering be blessed. May all who join feel the breath of spirit upon them, and may we leave this space lighter, brighter, and more whole. In the sacred name of love, life, and light, we breathe and we begin. And so it is. Amen. Munai Sanko, Hiaya Aho. I love to start always with an opening prayer. what that kind of does. You're kind of starting to call spirits towards you. You're starting to create that energetic space, that sacred space. Another way to say it is in a scientific kind of way would be like you're beginning to communicate with the quantum field. All those things are true. It all has to do with your inherent belief system. Nobody's belief system's wrong. The worst thing we can do is condemn each other for what the other person believes. We're allowed to believe what we want. I'll never tell you what you're supposed to believe. What I will tell you is belief systems are malleable, and the more present and the more conscious you become, the more your belief system can expand and change. And that's something that you want to happen. You don't want to have a rigid belief system that is unchangeable, because if it's like that, then you can never change, grow, or learn. So that's very important, especially if you're on a spiritual path. All religions are important. All belief systems are important. The most important thing is love, loving respect for each other. And I love you all, and I respect you all, and I'm glad you're here. Let's jump over to the comments before we get started. Tachi's here. Good morning, Tachi. Good to see you. Hollow bones for all those who are in need of healing. Thank you. And what she means by hollow bones, okay? That's something that we talk about a bit in energy healing, just in general. There's many forms all over the world. And what you're allowing yourself to do is you're allowing yourself to be the conduit. You're allowing yourself to allow the flow of universal energy to just move through you without resistance. And so it sounds easy, but it does take a lot of practice, because our subconscious minds are generally geared towards protection. So being that hollow bone, another way to say it is spaciousness. That's how I really like to explain it, is spaciousness. I wish to hold space. I wish to create a sacred space for people to heal. The floor is open. Anybody wants to comment or has any questions, or if you need some attention in any sort of way, feel free. That's what we're here for. And today, like I said, we're going to do some breath healing. And I'm a big teacher of this. This is one of my favorite things to teach. Very helpful. While I was in the hospital last week, I was in hospital for 6 days. I encountered a lot of pain and discomfort and sometimes suffering. But it was through my breath and my healing capabilities, which all humans have. No one is special or above the other. I was able to find that spaciousness, that peacefulness within me. And I think that's really important, and I want to help all human beings essentially discover what's already there. It's not that you're really learning something new. You are creation itself already. You are a reflection of divine creation already. We just have to remember. And that's easier to happen when we work together in groups. Even though we may not be in person per se, we're here together. And there will be people that watch later, and that doesn't matter, because energy, healing, faith, God doesn't know distance or time, okay? So it's about your intention. It's always starting with your intention. So we're going to get moving into the space of healing now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you kind of a generalized way to bring healing to yourself or bring healing to our group, okay? And what this begins with is first you cleansing your vessel, getting yourself open. You want to open yourself up. As my friend Christine Cavallero mentioned earlier about the hollow bones, or I say spaciousness, that's creating that spaciousness. And breath can help you access that dimension of spaciousness. I must blow my nose, please excuse me. And I recommend that you blow your nose before doing any breath work. You want to have clear sinuses. And the idea now is to ground and center. So how I begin, if I'm going to do some self-healing, the first thing I do is I put myself in position. You may be uncomfortable at that time. So saying get in a comfortable position might not be the right words, because you might need healing for something that's not comfortable. But it's putting yourself, you're rooting yourself. And so by rooting yourself, you're using your mind. You're using this thing that can create. You can create images within your mind, your ability to extract information from the unseen, essentially, is what that is. And what I would usually do is I start with visualizing. I'll close my eyes and I start by visualizing as if I can root myself to the earth. Because what we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves that conduit. We're going to make ourselves in that flow of energy. Okay. So, first taking your awareness, and I start at my belly button. And from there, it's quite simple. I do a body scan down. So I start at the navel, and it's like I'm at the navel. I feel my stomach, and it's like a band around my body. And then what I'm doing is I'm using my intention to scan down. So now I'm going down my belly and my back and my sides and my hips and my pelvis and my groin and my backside and down my thighs and my knees and my calves and shins and my ankles and my feet, my metatarsals and my toes and right through the bottom of my feet. So you're just using that intention. You don't have to see or touch these areas. They're there. You can sense them. So you're using your mind's eye and you're just sensing from your navel all the way down to your feet. And now your intention is going to be to create a root system, as if you're rooting yourself into the earth, as if you could use your intention. And the thing is using your disciplined imagination. Don't be afraid to use your imagination. It's the most beautiful tool for healing and magic. Using that intention to create a root system that extends from you down through the ground. And in my case, I'm out in a slab kind of patio, kind of garage area. And so I'm going through the layers of concrete and gravel. And what I'm doing is I'm creating this root system just mentally. It's just a mental picture. But that mental picture also can generate a feeling. So it's like you're mentally generating the picture of rooting, and you're just allowing yourself to have a sensation as if you're rooting yourself into the ground. Okay, so as you're doing this, and you can do this from an airplane if you needed to, you can use your intention to ground yourself. And now what's happening is just through your intention, and the more you practice this, the stronger it gets, you're actually rooting your nervous system. You're actually grounding your nervous system. Yes, it works good if you go barefoot in the grass. That's great. Or if you can go outside and sit in the grass for your healing session, do that. That's totally okay. But you don't have to. You have the ability as an interdimensional being a human is that, to be able to just use your intention to ground yourself. And as I said, practice makes progress, okay? It takes practice. Not most people don't get it that fast. Don't expect it to be that way for you. Just allow it to happen. Get out of the way. Set your intention. I'm grounding myself from my navel down into the earth. And I'm just getting out of the way. And then I'll usually just spend a moment and sit there. I just sit there and sense my grounding. Sense my roots. And there's a buzz. You can feel this buzz in your lower body and in your belly. And it's amazing and it's beautiful. So there you go. You're grounded. And then so what we're going to do next is we're going to connect from the top, okay? Now that you're grounded and open, and how cool, I have the sun behind me, that's your intention. You want to reach for the primary star of our galaxy, okay? And that's our sun. That's our living sun. In our tradition, we call the sun Inti, I-N-T-I, Inti. Or another way is Inti Taita, Father Sun, Mother Earth, Father Sun. These two things work together to generate life. And you are life. You are a product of the earth and the sun, just like all other life here. No earth, no sun, no life. That's how it works here. Isn't that beautiful? You're part of that. So now what you're doing is you're closing your eyes. You're bringing your attention to the top of your head. And as I bring my attention to the top of my head, I'm inviting to me golden rays of sun, the light of the sun. And as it comes to me, I use that mind's eye, and what happens is a thick column of light, about as big around as the top of my big bald head, comes in and goes down. And then I start from there, and this is where you start doing the body scanning technique again. You're just relaxing, and you're scanning down your body. You're scanning through the temples and the brain. You're scanning down through the sinuses, through your whole head, through your nose and your cheeks. And you're scanning down your teeth. And sometimes you have these floating feelings, and they're beautiful. And through your jaw bones and your throat and your tongue. And just keep scanning down your body into your neck, And then keep going down the back of your neck, the occiput, down into the collarbones, the shoulders, and you just continue. It's going down your upper arms, and at the same time, going down through your chest and your heart and your lungs, all of your internal organs, your spine, moving through your rib cage, every bone, every blood vessel, all parts of you. You're moving the energy down, down, down. And just take your time. There's no reason to hurry. What you're doing is you're just allowing the light to move through you. You're taking some time to bring yourself into inner body awareness, or interoception is another word. So this is a technique in which you're using, one, to energetically connect. And if you don't understand energy, that's okay. At a physical kind of scientific level, you're moving into interoception, inner body awareness. You're coming into that inner body awareness, and as that light, as that energy of the sun moves through you, it's going to go all the way down, and then it's going to pass the belly button down out through your legs and rooting into the earth. So now what's happened is you've created a situation now where you're a central circuit. You're in between the sun and the earth. And within that is a lot of power. There's a lot of energy and power to help bring healing into your body. So usually once I make this connection, and you don't have to you can, some days I'll take 45 minutes to an hour just to really take my time and connect. If I'm in a lot of pain and I need to get moving into my healing, I do it faster. The key is to practice, practice, practice. If you don't do this all the time, you'll never get good at it. It's just like anything else. You're not going to get good at playing a guitar if you don't play it. The good thing is if you practice and get good at it, that can't go away. You might get a little rusty if you don't practice enough, but you have to build the neurological fortitude in order to be able to make the connection, if that makes sense to you. So once I have that connection and I'm in that flow, I may stay there just for a few moments, and this is where the breathing starts to happen. This is where I start to really become aware of my breath, and I pull that golden energy of the sun, of the upper world, of heaven, into my body. And as it moves into the center of me, I'm full, and as I exhale, I pass it through the bottom of me and into the earth. So I'm actually aiding in the flow. And I may use my hands like I'm doing right now. You can reach into the sky, pull the energy down, goosebumps all over. You feel that? If you're sensitive, you'll feel it right away. If you're not, it's okay. Bring it in. Pass it through you. You're passing golden light through your body. Just a couple more. One more. Good. And you just relax now, okay? From here, there's some choices you can make. You can just move into a meditation if you'd like, because now your body's really relaxed. By doing this, I feel deep relaxation in my body. This is a practice I do every day. And it's really grown to a point where I start to become really filled with light and energized. So I feel I'm tingly all over. I feel that downward flow of energy. It's just moving through me. It's coming in through the top and leaving me through the bottom. I'm circulating. There's a circulating energy, and it feels beautiful. And now once you're in flow, what you want to do is I open my hands. And what I say is I use my internal voice, and I say, I'm open and ready to receive. Or I may say a prayer, and that's different for everybody. No one prays the same, and there's no reason anyone has to. It's about your intention, not the words you say. You're opening yourself up to the highest possibility. That's really what's happening here. I open myself to the highest possibility. Okay, I open myself to all greater outcomes and greater possibilities. Or you can say, I'm opening my heart to God. Whatever feels right to you. It's all about you. And as you open yourself up and you're in that flow, you bring your attention into your body, because right now all that energy is moving. And if you take some time to scan, okay, You're taking time to scan. If there's anything that feels heavy, stuck, or stagnant, like I have a little bit of trapped energy here, right, in my where my shoulder and chest muscle meet. There's a little bit of heaviness there. I'm bringing my attention there, and I'm inviting the higher light, the higher energy into that area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to help it. I'm going to breathe in as if I can focus all the energy in my inhale into it. I hold it there for a second and I send it down. I release it. I'm just letting go. That's all it takes. I breathe into the heaviness. And I let it go. And you can do up to 10, 20 breaths if you wanted to. Into the heaviness and I let it flow down. And sometimes I use my hands like this. Flush the energy down. And when you're in your own practice, you can take as many breaths as you need. That's all I needed. It's moving now. I can feel it's no longer stagnant and moving. Everything feels more alive and moving. And I'm just continuing. I'm just coming down my body. My chest feels pretty good, even though I've had a sternotomy a while back. But since I've had that sternotomy and there's a scar here, I may be holding some cellular tension. So I'm just going to do it because it calls to me that it needs it. I'm bringing my attention into my sternum and I'm bringing the energy into the sternum and I breathe into it. I release the pressure. And don't be surprised if sometimes when you're doing this, you release emotions. This is highly somatic. This can go deep into emotional material that hasn't moved. Maybe you'll laugh. That's okay. I feel pretty happy about how this feels today. There have been times when I cried. And that's okay. Good. Now I'm moving. Everything's moving really nice. I just had some surgery where some stents have been put into my abdominal aorta. So I'm bringing all the energy down into my abdomen. I'm picturing my aorta, my primary blood vessel, and the stents. I'm just using a mental idea of what that could be. And I'm drawing the energy into it. Into my belly. And I just hold it there for a second and let go of anything I no longer need. You're processing. Push the energy down and out, just soft. You don't gotta be rough, easy. Bring the light into you. The belly is also where we hold a lot of emotional trauma. You don't have to relive it. This isn't talk therapy. Breathe into it. I breathe into my pain and my fear and it's okay if you cry. Just let it happen. Just take your time and breathe through. Be grateful for anything that loosens up. Like I said, it's okay for emotional tension to move. Your body holds the score, okay? Bringing your breath, the intention, the light. I bring it through my belly. It's loosening up. And that's like a sunrise happening inside my gut. Breathe out, let it go. We're going to breathe in into the belly and that pain's turning into joy now within me. I invite joy. I invite the healing into my belly. And I just let it move. You just let it move. And in your own practice, you take your time and you spend as much time as you need to there. I was able to move that pretty quickly. There's times where I need more time. There's times where I can't get it all loose. And that's okay. It's not a race. You don't win a medal for doing more than the next person. And we're moving down. I'm just showing you examples. This is healing. If you have a shoulder issue, pain in your body, disease in your liver, whatever it may be, bring your attention there and draw the light into you through your breath. your mind's eye, and you're that vessel, that central column of light, just how we began in the beginning. You're this column of flowing light, and you're allowing everything that you don't want to hold on to go into that column and drain out through the bottom. And you continue, move down your body. I feel a little bit of tension stuck in my left hip. I'm going to bring my attention there. I breathe into it, hold it there, and right there, I already let it go, already moved. Sometimes happens really fast. Down my legs, I'm pushing energy through my legs. All the way down. Now, once you start having that clearing of energy, now you're going to flush. It's like a flushing. You're going to create more breath, and you're going to speed up a little bit, because the idea now is to illuminate. Wherever it is you've removed heavy energy, there's going to be some blank spots. So the idea is just to overflow your cup. All right, so that's the whole idea, is overflowing the cup. So I usually speed up my breath a little bit. It's more circular. And what I'm doing is I'm fully filling up, using my diaphragm, filling up, letting go most of the way, like 75 to 80%, and breathing right back in. So the idea is 3 more. All your air out. Deep breath in. And give everything just a little squeeze. You're pushing all the energy into the cells of your body. And then you're going to let go. And it's like it all pushes out from you. There you go. And what you'll feel is, if you followed this exercise and you went along with it, you're going to feel this expansion, the soft, expanded state. And what it is you've expanded your pokpo. Pokpo, what that word means in our tradition is luminous field. In the Western world, it might be understood more like aura or auric field. In a scientific sense, it would be the electromagnetic field of your heart, your torus field of your heart. So you have an expanded sense. And in this expanded sense, this is where you can share healing. So if there's someone you know that needs healing and love, in this moment, you can just close your eyes. I like to raise my hands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the healing with you. So raise your hands with me. And what I'm going to do is I'm first going to take in a deep breath. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send healing towards you. Allow yourself to catch it. And as you catch it, you breathe in. And then you're going to send it to me. And as you send to me, I take it in. And I send it back. Push and pull. Push and pull. Isn't that wonderful? Three more. Strong breathing. Last one. Push and pull. And receive this. And just relax. Notice how soft, expanded. This is beautiful, beautiful work and very powerful. My body feels excellent right now. I've been suffering with kind of like a seasonal thing I get, occipital neuralgia is what it's called. So it's essentially really, really powerful back of the head and neck that come up over the top of my head headaches. They are dubbed suicide headaches because they're so terribly painful. And right now I feel just excellent. I feel perfect. I had a little bit of one when we started, but it's all gone. All my guts, I'm floating. I feel really nice. Everything feels really good. What I do is after I do my healing, I allow the flow to stay. I don't stop anything. It's just there. It's always happening. This is also kind of in our tradition, a form of samanchakui is what we call it. And I teach to my students and have been taught to me. And what it is you're putting yourself in a vertical flow of light. It's always there. But what we're doing is we're awakening our awareness and the body's internal intelligence to it. And it's very healing. It's very deep and healing. And once you kind of do this, I often will just sit in meditation. I'll just open my hands. And this is how I like to pray. Many people pray like this. Sometimes I pray a little bit like this, but most of my prayer is open and passive. I want to receive God. I want to receive the higher power, the higher knowledge, my higher self. I'm open to receive. And I'll just sit still and I'll breathe slowly in and out through my nose. Breathe slowly in and out through my nose. Breathe slowly in and out through my nose. And you can do many things. You can move into your spiritual work from there and do many things. But today we're focused mostly on the aspects of the healing of that energy. Now, also when you're open here, if you have something you're trying to heal, you spend more time there. You spend more time there and you're breathing into it. So say you have a broken arm and you got it set and it's in a cast. That's when you want to take some time every day and bring your attention and breathe light into your arm and release anything that doesn't need. What you'll notice is the arm will heal much faster, remarkably fast. What I won't tell you to do is if you have a broken arm, to sit there and try to heal it this way, because what you could run the risk of is healing it without the bone being set properly. And this can have its own set of problems. You know, it's good to have the bone set and then from there do the healing. Like in my experience, so I've had this internal surgical intervention done. Now is when I use the energy to heal that all up. Okay. Some things you're not going to be able to make change enough with just energy. Okay. Some things. And that's different for everybody. But you can certainly make a difference to the healing and recovery of any problem, especially headaches. Headaches are a very common thing for human beings. And usually what that's showing you is that you're out of flow. And if you're out of flow, there's going to be a symptom. The symptom might be a headache. Often, though, instead of going into the symptom and trying to understand it, we rush for a way to change it. So we may go take an aspirin or a Tylenol, which is fine, but all you're doing is subverting the underlying condition. All right, maybe you take the Tylenol and you sit down, you do some healing work. At any rate, this is very healthy for your nervous system, because if you went along with this and you paid attention and actually did the work with me here, you'll notice that you're a lot calmer. You'll notice there's a soft buzz about you. And what this is you've woken up your divine internal intelligence, or in a scientific way, we would say that you've shifted yourself into a parasympathetic dominant nervous system state. Okay, you're in a rest and digest, flow and grow, feed and breed, healing kind of mode, okay? And you can access this dimension of your consciousness at any time. And the more you work with it, the less work it takes for you to get there, okay? So my advice to you is to start a daily practice, rewatch this video. It's going to be on YouTube. You can watch it at any time and spend some time every day, okay? You don't have to we've been on about 35 minutes, perfect. 20 to 30 minutes a day of meditative practice like this can be deeply life-altering, okay? It can change your entire life. It can really bring you into a new way of being. But you don't have to take that much time. Sometimes it has to be shortened because there's things you have to do or whatever, but just you showing up is enough, okay? It's always enough, just showing up. And this is how we build discipline, showing up. That's all it takes for you to show up. Same like exercise, people will skip the gym. I just don't feel like it today. What if you just show up and you go there? What if you just hop on the treadmill and walk really slow? Chances are just you being there, you'll end up doing more than that. But even if you didn't, that's okay. You showed up. Showing up plants those seeds and helps you develop discipline. And discipline outperforms motivation all the time. Discipline is key. Let's take just a few grounding breaths, breathing in through the nose. Long sigh. Like Calgon, take me away. Centering. One more. Big, strong breath. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this, like I always do, my prayer and my practice, with gratitude. I become grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I may say a little prayer there, just this little something. It might not even be words. I'm just expressing the feeling of gratitude, the vibrational feeling of gratitude. Thank you to all my spiritual guidance. Thank you to the light of the heavens. Thank you to Father, Son. Thank you to Yeshua. Thank you to God. Thank you to the Father of the all that is and the Mother of creation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You can use your own words, and whatever means the universe to you and whatever that is, use that. That's your God-given, your universal gift. Use that. Feel that within you. And just reach out. Very good. And then you kind of just close your session. You can go about your day and just notice how a shift has occurred. I'm in a completely softened state. I'm so softened and I feel so nice. My breath feels so beautiful and calm. And I want to thank you all so much for joining in that exercise. It's wonderful. It's even more wonderful when we're here doing it together. And it doesn't even matter if you're not watching this live. Even if you're watching this later, it doesn't matter. You're still part of this field of energy. You still receive, because by us doing this together, by more people doing it, what happens is we increase the potency. It's kind of like, where two or more gather in my name, there I shall be. Okay, this is scripture talking about prayer, talking about unification of human love and consciousness. By us all being here doing the work, by me being here with you, I make it stronger for you, and you being here with me, you make it stronger for me. Okay, and it's just the beginning. When you call this light into you, it ain't the end when you're done. When you're done with the exercise, it's not the end. It's just the beginning. It's just the opening. And your healing can continue and get stronger in the days to come. And the more you practice, the more you practice, the stronger this gets. Thank you so much. I'm going to open up the floor now for any questions. If anybody wants to share anything, maybe you had a really cool experience. I know I did. It was really groovy for me. It was great. I even had some emotional release. Perfect. I could sense I was feeling some heavy emotion, especially after surgery. Like your cellular structures, they have a memory. You have 30 trillion little memory banks in your body, that your cells that work together to make the divine being, which is you, and they hold information. And this is where somatic healing like this becomes really, really important, because talk therapy is valuable. I do offer talk therapy. I work with people through talk therapy. And it's okay, and it works okay, but on a deeper level, you also need somatic therapy. Somatic means of the body, going into the body. Just as simple as what we were doing here, body scanning techniques, and then allowing yourself to go into anywhere it feels heavy. You don't have to name it. You don't have to remember it. You don't have to do any of those things. You don't have to relive the trauma. You just have to be not afraid to go into the feeling, because it's just feeling. It's vibration. The rest is mentally generated story. It no longer exists, but it's painful because that vibration still exists within us, which brings forward the thoughts. And if you can start to ground that heavy energy of the feeling, what happens is you're no longer vibrating in a way where you're constantly attracting that thought. And what happens is your actual reaction and the way you interact with your reality changes. And this, on the deepest level, my brothers and sisters, is healing and reconstruction. Whew. Wow, that is wonderful. The floor is open. I'm going to go back here into the comments and see what's going on. Let's see. Hazel came in. Angelita came in. Hi, Angelita. I just love you. I adore you, Angelita. You have a wonderful, wonderful heart, and I'm always so happy when you show up here. Thank you. Hazel. I love you too, Hazel. Tommy Thompson. Bonjour. I'm sitting outside doing this. I jumped on just in time. Just in time. Perfect. Kelly Roach is here. Kelly says, hi. Hi. Yes, I'm completely high on life right now and a little bit of oxygen. Uh-huh. Tommy says it's a bit wet to be outside. It's a little bit like that here. Ann says, coming in hot and late. You're right on time, honey. No problems. Queenie, Christine Cavallero, thank you for the light language. My absolute pleasure. My nose and teeth are throbbing vibration. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. So I'll talk a little bit about that. It's part of the teachings in which I teach people. Your nerve centers are like antennas. They pick up information and frequency and energy. So behind your face there, you have what's called the olfactory bulb. Olfactory sounds like old factory, but it's olfactory bulb. And what that is that it's the center of all the nerves in which you're able to have the sense of smell. All right. This also is a place in which a lot of people, and I notice it's more prevalent in women that I've worked with so far, to have a strong spiritual sensory center in the face and behind the nose and the upper teeth in the sinus and that paranasal sinus, because it can process so much frequency energy. Your hands, generally most people, the hands are the most vibrationally alive. Like right now I'm holding up my hands. I'm not trying to do anything or focusing, but I am aware that there is a lot of vibration. The hands kind of turn on first, right? I sense my olfactory nerve since we're talking about it. Yeah, I feel that. And as soon as I did that, a picture of one of my feminine guides came forward. She's a lady of the woods, nature spirit. We're very close and we work together a lot. There's other centers in the body and everybody's a little bit different. Some people's are tuned up higher than others. The idea is just to work with all your centers and try to tune them to their greatest ability. The key is the word coherence comes forward, is being able to blend together all of those nerve centers. And what that does is this vastly expands your spiritual awareness or vision. Awesome, though. Thanks for sharing. So glad I was able to join, help me bring some healing to some tense areas and keep energy flowing. Anaiki kuyaiki! I love you too. Wulkununa wakachai, Sacred Soul Brother. Thank you, thank you. Anne was here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Paco Dan Antonio. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. Love this. Thank you, Tom. You make the magic happen here. Thank you for just popping up when I just went to look at, and you were live. Been thinking of you daily. Thank you so much, Anne. I'm glad that you're here. I'm crying right now. That's okay. Like I always tell people, don't label crying as a bad thing. Okay. Crying has to happen. This is a natural response to help the body move into that parasympathetic. So I'm talking in like a more scientific way. I'm a bridge. So I may talk in a spiritual sense, sometimes a semi-religious sense, and then other times in a scientific sense, because it all blends together. They prove each other. So essentially, it's a web of knowledge and understanding. But from like a scientific standpoint, crying is actually a good thing that helps us to relieve heavy energy. It also helps us to shift the nervous system into that parasympathetic dominant state, into a parasympathetic state where rest and digest. You know how sometimes after a good cry, you just feel great? Especially if you're using your intention to use your crying to move energy, not just crying and trying to hold on. The worst thing a person can do is cry and fight it and try not, I don't want to cry. I did that for like most of my life. I actually spent over 20 years where I couldn't cry at all. It would start to happen, I would just laugh it off. I'm too tough to cry. I'm too strong to cry. Real men don't cry. Well, it's quite the opposite. Real men do cry. Crying's a necessary part. You want to honor all forms of feeling and emotion into your life. You can't be a full human without the full range of emotion. And the most important part is honoring. When you're crying, it ain't a bad thing. Honor it. It's okay that I cry. It just lets me know I'm human and I'm alive and I'm sensitive. So let it go, sister. Let it go all you need to. I have been buzzing since last night's light club. Me too. And this is perfect for today. I agree. It was wonderful. I'm humming. Yeah, me too. Feels good. My hands are hot. Use them. Put them on your body. So that hot. So what is hot? Okay. Hot, if you close your eyes, what is that heat? It's a very fine vibration. It's buzzing at a really high rate. So you have a lot of energy coming into your hands. So wherever you need it, you can even just sweep your energy field with your hands when they're really hot and vibrating. Just sweep. It's almost like you're taking a bath with your energy. Or if you had a headache, you come up here, put your hands on your head, and slow your breathing down. And just be with the vibration of your hands. Maybe you put them on your chest, on your tummy, on your legs, wherever you need to go. Those are your awakened, energetic hands. Don't be afraid to use those. Fingers and feet. Good. Feel it. Lately, my sense of smell has been on 11. I can sense that on you. I sensed it yesterday. We might even talked about it just a little bit. I'm not sure. Smelling a lot of things differently and opened up information. Yes. Like I was just mentioning earlier, that olfactory nerve center is really, really powerful. Do we go into a theta wave when we do this? Yeah, and sometimes into delta. I often, when I'm leading, it's a little bit different when you're leading the practice as to doing the practice. When I'm just having my own practice, I'm more prone to move into alpha and delta wave rates. But when I'm leading, I move more into a gamma. It's a really high level of focused concentration, very high frequency buzzing. Usually a lot of purple and violet light comes with that. And what it is I'm allowing myself to become a perfect absorber and radiator. So what it is, I'm sharing with my family. It's kind of one of my primary directives as a priest, as a Paco or a medicine man, is to share. And like a more scientific way, I'm like a neurological node. I'm taking in information from a primary source program, which we may call God, and then I share that. And what happens is we're all sharing information. We're all sharing a deep form and a bond that's beyond our human mind and understanding. I cried with you. Good. Sometimes by example, we can help someone else move things. And also by you crying with me, you help me to move energy. I put it on spots on my tummy and heart and my head. Good. I like that. I love that. That was great. I love everybody so much. I'm so grateful that you're here. Tomorrow is Easter. I'm not a Christian per se. I do follow the teachings of Yeshua, and I'm big on the history and the information or the love that has been injected into our reality through the idea of it. There's no wrong answer. No one has to believe what you believe, okay? And the thing is you also don't need to be afraid when someone doesn't believe what you believe. Let each other believe what they want to believe and just be loving about it. And if someone kind of attacks you about your belief system, you don't have to interact. You don't have to react. There's nothing for you to defend. All right? People that attack other people about their belief system are just unsure about their own. And you don't need to do anything. The best thing we can do is always be lovingly passive. Okay? There's no need to be aggressive. Unless you're, protecting your life, I would say maybe there's a need to be aggressive. But at the deepest level, we're often aggressive in trying to defend ideas, and these ideas have to do with our false sense of identity, who we think we are. If you no longer had anything to defend, because people are like, I have to defend myself. As long as no one's attacking you physically, there's nothing to defend. So it just goes into that. That's a level of consciousness that I see a lot of humans are starting to really tap into and really understand that there's no need for defense. There's nothing for you to defend. The greatest thing we can do is be understanding of each other. Kelly says, I normally see a purple ball that is swirling when I'm grounding in flow state. Violet light. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's your upper world energy. That's that gamma frequency that, you can achieve. That That purple light is very, very powerful. That's a direct connection to the upper world, the higher frequencies of consciousness. The weird part is that not everybody sees color. Color is a manufacture of what we've been taught it to be. There's a lot of vibrational energy that's really powerful that you wouldn't be able to describe in forms of color because it's more feeling. So what I'm coming through for you, Kelly, is when you go into that state and you see the color, what I want you to really pay attention to is the feeling. Oh, I see the purple energy. How's it feel? And you're not trying to answer it and you're not trying to describe. You're just bringing your attention to it. It's like listening. You're listening for someone in the other room or for the pin to drop. You're listening. You're feeling. You're open. And as you do that, it takes you into deeper understanding of what it is. Because most people will ask me, like, well, I've seen this and I have experienced that. What does it mean? It's hard to say because, lots of psychics and things will try to assign meaning to stuff, but this is often their own meanings. Because inherently, nothing has any meaning until you assign meaning to it. And the meaning can shift if you get out of definitions, which is mind. This means this. And move out of definitions. Forget the definitions. Just go into feeling. It's so much more powerful to feel your life than to describe your life. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. That was a wonderful session. I want to thank you all so much for being here. Tommy says, I often see a blue small pinpoint of light or purple. Wonderful. There's many different ways someone can pick it up. Some people don't have a lot of visual ideas, sensations of energy. It's more proprioceptive. It's more an interoceptive, that inner body feeling. I was describing last night in the group, like often I'll say, I see. I can see your energy field, but it's not really like I see, like how I see things with these eyes. It's a feeling that creates an image within me is what happens. It's feeling though. And like I was explaining earlier, it's development of your nerve centers. So in our tradition, we have 5 primary nerve centers in which we use to detect, feel, read, drink, taste energy. And these align with nerve centers in the body, similar to chakras. You can use your chakras too, if that's the system in which you're familiar with of your nervous system. You can use those. I'm more familiar with what I've been taught through the Andean traditions. Instead of chakras, we use something called Nawi, Nawi, Nawi. And essentially what that means is energetic eyes. And so we have one at the tailbone area or kind of down in the root. And it's kind of like the root area and also like your hips and your pelvis. So it's sacral as well. It kind of blends together in our tradition. But, this is kind of an eye that connects, and each of these eyes also connects to like an element. So like our lower eye connects to the deep waters of the earth, the black deep waters of the earth. It's a black energy line that brings in. It also has the ability to taste and feel energy. And then we have one at our navel, and this one is typically connects outward out and around you, and this is like a primary center. I try to use it all the time. Say you walk into a room, instead of overthinking everything, you open up your navel. All of your attention goes into your navel, and you can taste the energy of the room. It's just a totally different feeling than having the mind activity walking into a room per se. You're feeling, tasting the room through your belly. And so this goes into the navel, the solar plexus, and then, this navel area is connected to the earth. That's the element. So you have water, you have earth. Next is fire or sun, and this is our heart, and this can open up. You're opening up that eye, very powerful, perceptive kind of energy. When I open up my heart, it opens me up into like a higher realm. Like these ones that are like my navel and my tailbone connect me into lower vibrational stuff. So this will be like emotions, trapped energies, things like that. See, I'm reading someone's energy. I'll feel that down low in me. And then my heart, it opens up. This is a connective center. I can connect with things, even things that we may consider as inanimate objects. Like I have a glass or a jar of water in front of me, and it just happened while I was talking. It got my attention, and just naturally my heart attached to it. And I could feel the love of water. I could feel the sustenance in which it brings me in through my heart. And it comes in there. And so that's your fire center. And then you have your wind center. Another thing connects to is the moon. So this is your throat. You're connecting. This is your voice, your unique voice in this world. The power of the breath, the power of the wind, the power of self-realization, the power of your uniqueness of representation in this world. Right? And then you have the final element, and that's the ether. So in our tradition, it's kind of, for me, it shows up in between my eyes, center of head, and then pretty much the whole top of my head and my crown opens up. And it's like a large lotus flower is what it looks like for me. It's different for everybody. And what this is my primary antenna to my higher self or my upper world. And what you're able to do is, this is ether. So the ether can come in and harmonize the wind and harmonize the fire and harmonize the earth and harmonize the water, and it can move you into harmony. So in a way, that's kind of like the exercise we were doing today. We were bringing harmony. We are harmonizing the energy of our body, sort of like a flute. Like you have holes on a flute. You're kind of, or like tuning a guitar, you're tuning yourself to cosmic flow. Wow, that was wonderful. That was a beautiful wisdom transmission that came through me. I hope that's helpful to you. Anne says, I see lavenderish purple. Also, I remember our original Light Club members in a meadow from like 2022. Time flies, you know. It sure does. Time's flying quicker and quicker for me. You know, I kind of have a different understanding of time than where I started from. I don't see it as this linear thing anymore. I see it as groups of experiences that my human mind may perceive as time. But my spiritualized mind knows that all time is now. And just what's happening is I'm having an experience, and what I'm perceiving is a moment. But all moments are now. It's all happening now. And we are part of that one living energy that is all things. All right, I think I'm going to close it up for today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread my arms big and wide like this, and I'm going to gather up all the energy in my energy field, everything that came in today. And I'm just closing my eyes, and my intention is I'm gathering in. As my hands are open, it's like they're vacuums. And I'm going to take in a deep breath, and I'm going to gather all the energy over top of my head and condense it into a ball. And then what I'm going to do is bring the ball down my body as I exhale. You can do this a few times. I only need to go once. And now I've centered myself, and I've closed the sacred space. I want to thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. I love you. I love you. I love you all. If anyone can make any donations to help, that would be so wonderful. I'll post something on my Facebook page a little bit later asking about that. Unfortunately, I've been unable to work since late October due to the issues of my body and the surgeries and this and that. And I got a good 12 weeks to go before I'm even able to kind of look for any sort of job or work. So I need some help financially. If anybody can help me, that would be wonderful. This also maintains IME. Give and receive, give and receive. Remember to breathe today. Pay attention to your breathing. Especially tomorrow, if you head off into Easter gathering when you're around family or people that are unnerving to you, try to just become aware of your breath. Because what you may notice is you might be holding your breath when you're around people who are maybe difficult for you to handle. But if you slow your breath down, it changes everything. Wonderful. I love you all so much. Thank you again. And I'll be back real soon. Bye-bye.